This is a classic sneaker for the fall. Today we're taking a look at the Air Force One Flax. Welcome back to Kicks on Kicks, my channel where I review sneakers. Today we're taking a look at this. I want to say these came out 2019. The Air Force One Low Flax. So there have been a few iterations of these over the years, and basically this is the butter Timberland for people who don't live in cold enough climates for butter Tims, or you just want to get a cool fall fit off, right? These mimic the look of a construction boot while being a sneaker, although some people might argue that the Air Force One is basically a boot. So we'll take a look at this shoe in depth. We'll look at the packaging and we'll talk about legit checking because you can easily tell this replica from its authentic counterpart. So we'll talk about how you can spot the difference so you don't get scammed out there. But anyway, huge shout out to the homies that sent this over. And let's get this review started from the bottom up. Taking a look at the outsole. This is, of course, standard Air Force One outsole, except it's not as standard as you might think because this is a straight up gum sole on the outsole. So it seems kind of translucent, just like a boot would be. I keep saying Timberland, but pretty much any construction boot's got the same kind of makeup. But anyway, we got this gum sole, concentric circles, and we got the Nike. One thing I did notice on this gum sole, that Nike is thinner than it is on like most other Air Force Ones. And I thought that was just a defect of the replicas, but no, the retail has a super thin Nike word mark as well. Which is interesting. I don't know if it's just a function of the gum sole or what. Anyway, moving on to the midsole. The midsole is basically a gum sole as well. So this whole thing is like a thick, chunky, translucent sole. And something about that is just doesn't quite sit well with me. I would rather this have been like a sort of light tan, straight up opaque, rubber outsole or midsole, and then have the sort of gum sole as like a more of an accent piece. But I don't know. I guess you don't get the full construction look if you don't do the translucent gum sole all over the shoe. Anyway, let's move on to the upper wear. Again, it's all tan everything. So we got this nice, like sort of, honestly, it's a Durabuck. It's not a whole lot of movement on this shoe. It's just, I guess it's supposed to be like a little bit more weatherproof, but I'm never wearing these in the rain. Just like you don't really wear Tims in the rain because they don't look as good when they're wet, right? So that's that. Pretty much all standard Durabuck, except there is an actual like synthetic leather on the swooshes. You can see a bit of color contrast on the swoosh as well, as compared to the rest of the upper of the shoe. Now, speaking of contrast pieces, the tongue on this shoe is not just a straight up Durabuck or suede or anything like the rest of the shoe is. Instead, you actually get a leather tongue. It's a synthetic leather, kind of plasticky feeling, but it is a leather tongue. Now, pretty cool. Normally in an Air Force One, we get these flat laces, but this time you get these laces that are more reminiscent of a hiking boot. Because again, these are mimicking the look and feel of boots for people who, I guess, don't want to wear boots for whatever reason. Look at the tongue in black. You got your Nike Air, the Air Force One embroidery. By the way, this is a thin tongue. It's not super thick like you sometimes get on Air Force Ones. So there's that. Sock liner is tan because, again, all tan everything. And it's not really much else to report. So let's take a look at the packaging. So this is a standard Air Force One box because this was a general release shoe. Nothing special about it, right? All blacked out box with the silver foil Nike Air branding, Air Force One. And let's see, Air Force One 07 WB. What the heck does WB stand for? It's not Warner Brothers. Flax, white, gum, light brown. I guess the white is on the shoelaces. Got these in a size 8.5 because I wear a size 8.5 in Air Force Ones. I always size down because I hate having so much room. They crease up worse when you don't get a snug fit out of them. So size down on these, got an 8.5. All in all, an okay shoe. Now, like I said, these, it's a bit easy to tell the difference from the replica and the authentic if, of course, you have a black light, which black light flashlight, super cheap. Grab one in the description. First off, I do see like some errant glue right here on the midsole. You can kind of see it under the black light. Not really. Probably not catching that at the right angle. But also, I got this big light shining, so let's see. Yeah, you can see it there. So there's that. But also on this shoe, we got a whole lot of pen marks like on the outlines there. So where all the seams are on the shoe, you can kind of see like a very faint pen mark. There's a faint centering line right there. You can see it actually a little bit better when I hit that angle. And it's kind of like I said, it's that way on like all of the, like where the toe box is, like you can see like the toe box joinings. So all in all, relatively easy to spot with a black light. Without a black light, why are you not legit check the shoes with a black light? Anyway, is there a reason to get a replica of this shoe? The general release Air Force One. Nobody's buying Air Force Ones unless they're in Harlem right this second. So, you know, there it goes. A classic sneaker. Let's not disrespect the Air Force One, but let's be real. Nobody bought this shoe. There's no need to seek out the replica. It's probably in stock right now on Nike.com. So there's that. And with that said, I'll see you guys in another review real soon. Peace.